we are on the way to California. Gonna do a Spartan race. We're gonna do a Spartan Beast out there. Already did a super and a sprint earlier in the year, so we have to finish it off with a Beast, and we'll be done with our trifecta. Man. But anyways, a few announcements. You're about to see some footage from my last week's session at Andrew Nimi's and Brad Owen's meetup game. But before that, you're gonna notice that I changed the name of the channel to something a little bit more easier to look up and easier to find, just for like search engine purposes and stuff like that. And also, after this weekend's trip, I hope to be fully caught up and not take more than 2 weeks to upload some videos. I hadn't realized how long it takes, and I keep traveling back and forth to California with whatever the fuck I'm doing and house renovations and shit, but whatever. After this weekend, I should be all caught up, but that still doesn't stop me from doing hand histories. So check out this video from the West Gate. I had a great time. What's up, guys? So it is Wednesday, October 10th, and I wasn't gonna do a video today, but I was surfing through my social media yesterday, and I realized that Andrew Nimi, Jason Somerville, and Brad Owen is going to have a meetup game tonight at the Westgate. So guess what? I am gonna go down to the Westgate. I don't usually play 2-5, and it's a little bit big for our bankroll, but I'm only gonna take one bullet, and I'm only gonna be playing 100 big blinds deep. So let's get down to the Westgate. I already gave a call, I'm already on the list. And yeah, one bullet only. I am not going to bring more bullets. Guys, I am arriving just a little bit late from check-in time, but it's still 10 minutes before it starts, so let's run over to the poker room. I've never played at the Westgate before. The last time I remember the Westgate was in the corner. It was a small little room in the corner of the pit. So when I was watching some of the vlog videos from the other YouTube vloggers, I noticed that the Westgate's poker room was in a different location, so hopefully I can find it. Let's check it out. Talk about this one, guys. I have pocket sevens in middle position. I decided to raise it up to $15, and there's one call on the button. The flop comes 7-6-3 with 2 clubs. Pretty good fucking flop. There's already $37 in the middle, so I go with a sizing of $25. The button calls, and we're heads up to a turn still. The turn is the king of diamonds, and I decide to bet again. I bet $60 and the button folds. Take that one down. Alright guys, so I'm about like 1 hour and a half into the session. It's been a long time since I played 2-5, but so far so good. Up and down, I'm down about $80 right now. Getting a couple of hands. but taking lower variance plays only because I have such a short stack, so can't really play as aggressive as I like to do when there's straddle pots. Had my first bomb pot and didn't win too much, but I'm having fun. Didn't get a chance to sit down with any of the others, but they're switching tables soon. Came a little too late, but alas, we will still continue the grind.
So tell me how you guys would play this one. Those of you who don't know what bomb pots are, hello cat. We all decide to put $20 in pre-flop, and the dealer instantly deals a flop. So there's 9 of us at the table and there's only one player that decides not to do the bomb pot. So there's 8 of us putting $20 in pre-flop and the flop gets dealt. I look down at ace jack with the ace of diamonds and the flop comes out queen 10 9 all diamonds. An early position player bets $25. Now, I don't understand this bet as much because there's already $160 pre-flop. Before anything happens, there's essentially, to me, there's $160 of dead money. In this position, I started the hand with about $320, so I only have about $300 left effective. So I decide to shove all in for $300. I feel like there's a lot of other hands that could be calling me in this position. Open-ended straight draws, a single king X with the king of diamonds could be calling me. So I shove it in for $300. The opponent ends up folding, so I don't know, you guys tell me how you would play it. To me, there's too much dead money in the center for me to be doing anything else, so there's that. All right, let's talk about this one too. I'm on the button. I have about $530 effective in my stack. I look down at queen jack, both spades. I raise it up to $15 in the big blind calls. We are heads up to a flop of 9-7-5 with 2 spades. The big blind checks it over to me and I make a bet of $20. The big blind makes the call. The turn is the 8 of spades, so we hit our queen high flush. And I decide to bet $40. Might have been a little bit too small, but I was okay with the sizing at the time. And the big blind makes a call. The river is the 3 of spades. There's 4 to a flush out there, and the big blind checks it over to me. I feel like I could go for thin value. This was a thinking player, and I'm assuming that maybe he can call with worse flushes, worse spades, and possibly 2 pair plus or other type of hands. I decide to make a bet on the river for $60, and the opponent makes the call. I say queen, I flip it over, and we take it down.
Queen.
Alright guys, so this is our all-in hand of the session. This was probably the 3rd hour in, probably closer to the end of my session. I was able to grind up my small $300 stack to about $810. We wake up under the gun with pocket 6s. I go ahead and make the raise to $15. It folds around to the small blind, who makes the call. The small blind has about 900 back, 900 behind, so he definitely covers. So we're heads up to a flop that comes 5, 6, 7 rainbow. And he checks it over to me and I make a bet for $25. Now he doesn't think too long before he announces a raise and he sticks in $85. Now at this point I think I'm gonna go with it. The flop is so draw heavy, super wet board, and there's a lot of weaker hands that could be calling me if I put in a 4-bet. So I decide to make another raise and I make it $200. And he doesn't tank for too long before he shoves all in, which is about $800 effective. So I make the call, and the turn is an 8, the river is a jack, and I say set and I flip over my hand. And surprisingly, we're good. So definitely one of the biggest pots. That was a $1,600 pot. going over to me, and it's been a long time since I've won that big, and really happy to be able to take this down as a big pot of the year. So we take that one down, and I'm super stoked.
4, 5, 6, 7. 75, 85, 91, 791.
Just wrapping up the session. So it was my first ever meetup game. I only brought a bullet, and I had a whole bunch of fun. Brad Owen was sitting at my right. We were able to talk. I was able to meet him. Andrew ended up sitting at my table at the very end of the session. I also did get into a huge pot for $1,500. Flopped the set and was able to get it in on the flop and held. So all in all, I ran pretty decently at this first meetup game. So I was in for 500. I cashed out $1,450. So a $950 profit. Can't go wrong with that, especially when I'm just a 1-2 player. So I don't really play 2-5 all that often. I did a long time ago when I was playing a whole bunch, but definitely not used to the sizing. So in the beginning of the session, I did fold some skeptical hands, and I did take less variance routes with certain hands that I was playing. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna show up as often as I can from now on. Everywhere I'm going, there's noise. But anyways, yeah, a whole bunch of hands I wanna go over when I get home. I was able to meet a couple of people. For those of you who did end up subscribing, thanks, appreciate it. Hopefully you guys like all the hand reviews that I just did. As always, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Hit the thumbs up button. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Comment, let me know what I can improve on. And I will catch you guys in the next video.